I'm here with Kyle talking about Huskerball. Just tell me what Huskerball is.
Sure. Huskerball is a 2 to 4 player sport game, I guess. It's local multiplayer. It takes place in a zero gravity arena where you're trying to score on each other, and the zero gravity really makes it harder to navigate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, I've noticed you were showing it like the little characters were spinning around and like.
Right.
When I got launched off into space, like if I wasn't grabbing onto anything when there was no gravity, I'm just like literally like waiting slowly till I touch something.
Yeah. So a lot of the meta strategy of it is you need to have your line in your head before you push off. If you just kind of push off willy-nilly, you'll just fly all over the screen, and you got to kind of stop, figure out what you want to do, and then move through those motions to complete that action.
Super cool. And what was your inspiration for this type of game?
I read Ender's Game a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I got a huge commute on my way to work, so I bought a Kobo and a bunch of like sci-fi books.
Yeah.
I read Ender's Game, and I was like, when he's in the battle room, and it's a zero gravity like simulation thing, I was like, this needs to be a game.
Yeah.
I started working on that, and it's evolved from there. Yeah.
And there's like you were telling me how there's multiple modes that like play on different characters' play styles and stuff like that. That you're like.
Yeah, totally. It's tough because when you're trying to score on everyone else's goal, and there's 4 players,
Yeah.
when you're defending your goal, you're defending it against 3 other people who don't care whose goal it goes into.
Exactly.
Right. So there's different modes. There's inspired by standard playground games, right? You want to score on yourself, kind of like a capture the flag type thing. There's a king of the hill type mode where you just want to sit on the ball, and when other people come onto it, they kick you off.
Yeah.
There's your basic league mode, which is scoring on each other, and there's an all-star mode where there's no gravity wells to help with scoring, and you need to be winning by a score of 3 to finish. So there's a score yield.
No, it's definitely an awesome game, and I can totally imagine playing that with a group of people because it works with that group thing of people are like it's you're having fun, but you're swearing at that person.
Yeah.
So like, no, why is it? And you know,
it's a totally different way of thinking because it's not like Mario where if you hit jump and you didn't mean to, a couple seconds later you'll be okay and you can continue. It's very much like you jump off a wall and you better have a plan or else you might end up free floating for like enough time for them to score on you twice and stuff like that. So.
And I know you talked about before about collision detection stuff like that. You kind of pulled that out of the original version because it got too crazy. Would you ever want to implement that stuff back in, or is it just?
I would love to. Right now, you kind of hit each other in midair sometimes. The problem being if you've already used, you have like an extra burst in midair once you jump off to kind of like fix yourself. But if you've already used that and you smash into someone and you're both just free floating in space, there's no escape sequence. You're just free floating in space. And if you're not moving, the game will never end because you'll just be stuck in space. There's a lot of opportunity for trolling if you leave it as like a pure zero gravity simulation. So I put in a lot of like physics edge cases that just kind of like will push people around and make it a lot easier to play than it was when I first started.
Like the extra double jump thing, like you shoot off just in case you are screwed in the middle of the space.
Yeah.
What is the future plans for Huskerball?
It runs on PC. I'm kind of building it for PC. I'm using a multi-platform engine called Unity to develop it, so arguably I could run it on a whole bunch of stuff. I built it to Ouya, the Android gaming console, like 4 days ago, so I'm thinking we're going to try and hit that because that's kind of a perfect landing point for it, almost like a party console, you know what I mean? Sure. I think there's already a lot of great local multiplayer things set up for it. I'm building it on my lunches at work, so I don't want to be like, I'm going to add networking and then lose 2 years of my life. It's going to stay local multiplayer. It's going to be cheap.
Okay.
$1, $2 for just the game, probably. PC, Ouya is what I've kind of got locked in my head, but I'm floating around and I'm looking at other ideas.
Okay, awesome. Well, cool. I'm definitely want to play some more of it, so thanks, man.
All right, thanks.
Cool.